everyone, this is Alyssa and this is Always Cinema Chic. Today we're going to be reviewing Ghost in the Shell that was directed by Rupert Sanders and stars Scarlett Johansson, Michael Pitt, and Juliette Binoche. This is a science fiction film that gives a somewhat bleak vision of the future, although there is a certain amount of hopefulness as well. So the film takes place in a future that's not, robots versus humans. It's really humans and robots in some ways coming together. I don't think there's one human in the film who doesn't have a robotic upgrade in some sort of a way. But the film starts with this character, Major, played by Scarlett Johansson. She is almost killed in a terrorist attack. Her body is just not going to survive. So she's used as an experiment where they end up taking her brain and then putting it into a cyborg machine. So she's the first of her kind that's actually part human and part robot, even though there are, all the other humans that have a lot of aspects of robotics to them. So the main plot of the film is that they take her and they use her in this special unit that's looking for cyber terrorists. And when the company Henka gets attacked, who's actually the robotics company that had created her, she's put on the case with a team of experts to figure out why are they being attacked, who's attacking, and how can they stop it. So that's really just the general overall plot. There is a lot of controversy with this film by casting Scarlett Johansson. The film, the manga and the 1995 film portray a Japanese American woman, not really woman though, because she is also a robot, playing this character of Major. So when I review this, I'm trying to keep all of that controversy out of it. I'm just kind of looking at this as a film and whether I thought it was enjoyable, and honestly, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I was pleasantly surprised. Now, you shouldn't walk in thinking this is going to be the next great science fiction film, but it was definitely an enjoyable 2 hours, and I can say it's worth a watch if you're even mildly into science fiction. Now there's 2 reasons that I really thought this film worked. The first is it's absolutely gorgeous. Rupert Sanders does a great job of creating this world, this vision of the future. There's billboards that are on these giant buildings and they're moving. There are sketchy people on the streets who are trying to give you an upgrade on the side. The greatest visual image that I personally saw in the film was there's this robotic geisha that kind of turns. And that image of that geisha and what happens to her is something that's going to haunt my nightmares, at least for the next few weeks. I thought it was really scary, but really beautiful at the same time. The other reason that I thought this film really worked is Scarlett Johansson, which is a strange thing to say since she's kind of the cause for all of the controversy. I thought she was excellent as Major. She has strength and confidence, and she doesn't rely on her femininity, which is something that I think Scarlett Johansson usually does in films, even in action films. So to see her play a character that is asexual because she is a robot was something that was really different for me, and I thought that she did a fantastic job with that. She had the right amount of emotion for being a robot, but at the same time, she does keep that coldness to her. And what's interesting is that she is the first of her kind. So she has a lot of existential dilemmas. She wants to know about her past, where she came from. She gets these visions and these flashes, but she doesn't really know if it has anything to do with her. But at the same time, I felt like that's exactly where the movie failed. While it addressed some of these issues, it didn't really delve that deeply into the issues. So at the end of the day, I definitely wanted more. And I know that it's a Hollywood film, I understand that, but when I watch science fiction, I'm always hoping to get that gem that goes a little bit further, kind of like when I saw The Matrix for the first time and I thought to myself, this is not like other science fiction that I've seen recently. This is actually asking questions about who we are. So Ghost in the Shell tries to get there. Does it really get there? Based on everything I've heard about the manga and about the 1995 film, it does. So they're definitely leaving out a lot of those more important questions that maybe they think American audiences can't handle, and that makes me really sad. I thought that Rupert Sanders did a really nice job directing, considering this is his first full feature length since he did Snow White and the Huntsman. And we all do know how that turned out for him. So it's good to see that, you know, he landed somewhat on his feet. Not perfect, but I am curious to see what he does in the future. I also thought that Michael Pitt, who plays the villain Kuzi, you find that out very early on, that he is the person who's going after Hank of Robotics. I thought he did a great job. I thought the CGI with his character was exceptional. He was very interesting, and I really did want more, so I thought, you know, that could be another area of improvement, is I wanted a little bit more of that villain, because he disappears out of nowhere, not to give anything away, and I felt like the movie was definitely lacking at that point. So all in all, this is a solid film. I would give it, you know, in terms of a film, it's about 2.5 stars out of 4. You know, it is beautiful, but it's definitely lacking in some of those deeper messages that I would be looking for in a film. But in terms of watchability, I would give it 3 out of 4 stars. Definitely worth your time, so I would check it out. I think the people who would like this most would be if you like science fiction, but maybe you're not die-hard science fiction, because you could definitely tear it apart if you are very well versed in that genre. If you loved the manga, if you love the 95 film, which I definitely want to see now after watching that film, you probably will be disappointed because, like I said, they left out, you know, a lot of the main points of that film, the film and the manga. But if you're a couple, I think this is a good movie. If you're, you know, I think women would like it, having that strong protagonist. I think that men would like it, being that they're seeing Scarlett Johansson half naked, kicking butt again, which I feel she does often do in films. But with that said, I do think that for the most part, you should check it out. And remember, it is always in fashion to stay at home and watch a movie. So make it a cinema chic night. Thank you guys. Thanks so much. Subscribe and like if you want to see more.